A lot of you are dealing with popping sounds, clicking sounds, and you're wondering why. You went to the doctor's office and you said, "My ear keeps popping." Why? The doctor said, "No, it's probably this." You're like, where did that come from? How did I get allergies suddenly? Why? Uh, it happens. So what do I do about it? Just take some nasal spray. And why would they probably suggest that? Oh, because it could be too much histamine. Okay, so if I have too much histamine, that's what's causing my ETD, possibly. Keep taking the nasal spray, and I'll see you back in a couple weeks. A lot of you are in this position right now, and you're wondering why. Well, how did I get in this position? How did I just develop allergies out of nowhere? Some of you don't even have allergies. You never had allergies, and if you have allergies, you probably have allergies to something specific, like maybe certain types of peanuts or certain type of beans, or maybe seasonal allergies, not all year long allergies like ETD, right? Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my little story, but I'm going to keep it so brief that it's not going to bore you at all. I was told I had allergies, and that's why I have ETD. Take nasal spray, and here we are. 3 years later, I suffered thinking, well, I shouldn't say the whole 3 years. Most of those years later, I thought I just had this problem. I kept taking this. What happened? It kept being a problem. Why was it still a problem? I kept taking nasal spray, and I took it right on point. I took it on time. I took it consistently. Why did it keep happening? Why? Because your popping isn't always allergy related. What could it be? Structure related. It's a structural problem. Probably spelled that. Sorry. I just sliced through there. It's a structural problem. Here we go. What do you mean structural? How does that even make sense? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Structural means, and that's a hard word to say sometimes, structural means that there's more than just allergies. Now, allergies probably opened the door. It probably said, "Come on in. We're having dinner. Have a seat." But the problem is that when you leave the doctor's office, you don't know the mechanics of the body well enough for this condition to go away. So you keep doing the same thing. Nasal spray, nasal spray, nasal spray. I'm going to tell you what nasal spray did to me. Nasal spray not only it rose my blood pressure up, like it just completely, my blood pressure went up, believe it or not. Yes, it's true. My blood pressure went up. It made me dependent. It made me dried out. It made my nasal passages dried out. I want to talk about why that's a problem. And not only that, it dehydrated me, believe it or not. All those things from taking nasal spray. And I'm being very, very blunt about it, but I just don't feel good about it when it comes to this condition. Being very dried out in this sense is not a good thing, because you need moisture in your nasal passages. You need moisture. When you're dried out, not only are you going to start having issues with buildup, because when you're dried out, think of a slide or a water slide that's dry. You go down that thing, you're just going to hit bumps and roads, or you're going to hit bumps, and it's just going to be a rocky feeling to get down a slide, a water slide that has no water, nothing to slide you down. The material is just going to, it's just a rough material. It's going to just continue to build up over time. You need fluid. You need fluid to drain. And the eustachian tube connects to the back of the throat. If it's dry, how's it going to drain? How is that tube going to drain that stuff that we don't want in our body? So I kept taking nasal spray. I think I took it for about maybe a year and a half, 2 years till I smartened up. Allergies is probably the opener. It's probably the door person. It's the person that lets you in, not the sole problem though. At this point, you had a reaction to something, or you had something everybody gets, and that's a cold. That's fine. People say I have ETD because I just got over a cold. Well, the cold didn't give you ETD. Cold introduced you to ETD, but because of many reasons, it stuck around. So let me tell you about why it stuck around. So you get a cold, Your body's fighting off. Your immune system's going crazy right now, trying to fight off this cold. When you have a cold, you have increased mucus. You have increased congestion. And so when you have the cold now, we don't have ETD yet. You have the cold now, it makes your eustachian tube work harder because of all the things that's going on. It's trying to disperse all of this stuff out of your body. It's trying to drain. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes that door gets left open. It happens. In this sense, eustachian tube. That door gets left open. So then you do get a little, after the cold's over, you start saying to yourself, something still not right there. So then after about a week or so, because of that fluid buildup, that mucus buildup, that earwax buildup, all these things start to fire off like crazy. And of course, when you have a cold, you have inflammation. So you go to the doctor, you had that cold, you feel a little bit better, but you still don't feel right. So you go and they put you on allergy medication. Then now you're fighting in an allergy. You're going the allergy direction. Allergy. And really you should be going the I'll call it the let's just call it the ETD healing direction. Very, very unique. I'm being sarcastic. ETD healing direction. And what direction is this way? Well, because of the fact that you're on nasal spray and all these things now, when you had that cold, your eustachian tube did get out of whack, but you're losing valuable time in the time that you're trying to treat it in an allergy way. You should be treating it in an ETD way. And the ETD way is the following. There's a lot of things that could be causing this. Now, the problem is, and I don't know if a lot of you thought of this, there's something called barometric pressure. I won't spell all of that. I'll just put barometric, not pressure, but barometric pressure. Barometric pressure occurs every day. That's something that happens all the time. It's weather changes. It's the way the atmospheric pressure in our world has to do with barometric pressure. Barometric is a reading. It's a measurement of the pressure level. Well, when you have the issue, let's just say this is fluid. It doesn't change. Barometric pressure continues to happen no matter what. It changes. The air pressure in the atmosphere always changes. And if it didn't, we have problems. So now when your eustachian tube's out of whack, remember this is still going. Some of you are saying, well, how could the barometric pressure be a problem now? I've been living all my life, and if it's changing all the time, how is it a problem now? You didn't always have the issue with the structure of the eustachian tube. The cold invited it. The allergy introduced it. It's a problem, but the barometric pressure keeps going. So now you have the issue with the barometric pressure changes, and that's why you hear the continuous popping, is because it never got healed from the cold. It never got healed from what you thought might have been allergies. And sometimes it might be allergies. So that's what's also confusing. So now the barometric pressure is a problem. The atmospheric pressure is constantly changing. So you're hearing the popping sounds, the clicking sounds. And then you're taking allergy medication, nasal sprays. What is a nasal spray doing? Like I told you, it's drying your eustachian tube out. It's drying your nasal passages out. So then you don't have adequate lubrication in there to move this debris out. So now you have fluid buildup now. Now you have earwax buildup. Now you have mucus buildup. So then you have all these issues now because you started doing something that didn't benefit the main problem. And when I say ETD healing, I'm talking about could be bothering you. Jaw problems now, because now you're not sleeping now. So now you develop jaw problems. And because of inflammation of the eustachian tube, through all this various of things that are not going right, the stress is rising, the inflammation's rising, you're not sleeping well. So now you have jaw problems because of the fact that fluid never drained, and all these things are just building up in this little tiny area of our middle ear near our eustachian tube. So now you have jaw pain now too. And because of the increase in stress and increase in trying to get rid of this, now you're developing bruxism and you're developing clenching. You have all of that now. So now you got this because of one thing, the cold. Let's blame the cold. Let's blame maybe what we thought it was. And now we have problems with jaw pain. Here's the other thing. Because you have issues with those other areas, the jaw is centered by what? The neck. So now you have neck problems too now. And because you're not sleeping and because you're tired, this sounds like a joke, but it's not. You have your posture's even worse now because you're not working out. You're not doing anything because you feel pressure. Who wants to work out with pressure in their ear? And now and all of this is making you what? Dizzy. So now you're dizzy too. You're dizzy. All because of what you thought might have been allergies when really it was the cold that threw the eustachian tube out of whack. Therefore, the structural problem became a structural problem, which then became a nasal spray issue. Nasal spray didn't help, made it worse, made you think it was more things. You also probably, and it's possible that you could have issues, you could have too much histamine, but this isn't going to help reduce all the histamine. It's just going to put a Band-Aid on it. So now you have histamine. Ways you can get rid of some of the histamines: you can eat more berries, you can eat more leafy greens. There's a lot of things you can do for that to lower those histamine levels. Stay away from chocolate, fermented foods. Those things can increase histamine. And so if that is the issue, that's going to help. And again, those are the issues. Those are the reasons. And I didn't even get into TMJ. Because of all of those issues, you develop TMJ now. So now you have all of that to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, one cold gave you all of these problems. And I'm not even into the anxiety and the mental health stress and all of that stuff. This is just the basics. I will do another video about how an allergy assumption can turn into mental health problems, depression, anxiety, and anxiety can give you all of these problems as well. So folks, let me just tell you, when you have a cold and you feel weirdness in your ear after, keep in mind, be very leery of what direction you turn after that, because it can really determine how your outcome is going to be. Once you correct all these other areas through diet, through nutrition, through good sleep, and a lot of other basic things, I always say back to the basics, because basic things can get you ultimate results and not the other way around. You don't need the ultimate package to get ultimate results. You just need the basic package to get ultimate results. And if you do those little changes and you stay aware of what your body's trying to tell you, you will succeed and get through this thing. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jay Wellness studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.